Welcome back, audience. Welcome back to the new one. Welcome to my jungle. Whew! Where we talk a little more about cool stuff. There's something very simplistic that was coming to me, which I want to share, but it's so basic. And I guess only the people with the ears to hear can understand this, but let me just gather my thoughts. But what I'm trying to communicate here is very, very simple, because as the world gets more and more complex, which is natural, that's how it's supposed to happen as the time goes by, the opposite force must balance it out, otherwise you go crazy. Okay. And to gain a simplicity about how to play this game of life, is I mentioned before about this so-called direction of life, and it really is about that direction of life, and it can only go one way or the other way. Okay. And so let me try to illustrate that. Okay. I'm just gonna start with straight up from the picture. Okay, something that we can see in physics in the universe that is a natural phenomenon, and perhaps people who tend not to see everything as consciousness don't really make a link, but since we do, we can. There's these two phenomena that is out there: blue quasar and the red quasar. And it's an excellent example of a right direction of energy flow and the wrong direction of energy flow. The blue quasar looks absolutely pristine, perfect, and these long beams of light streaming up and down, and all the matter is moving around in a complete harmony and order. That's blue quasar. Okay. The red quasar, the beams are much shorter, and the energy is moving in a complete violence. And so that's when energy moving in the opposite direction, polarity is moving in the opposite direction, and then that's when it's moving in the right direction. Okay. And that's not my opinion. You can see it and you can look at it and you can study it if you like. These are two phenomena that do exist. Now, if you can look at the states of consciousness and correspond to these states of stellar objects, you will also find that blue quasar indicates a right energy flow and state of harmony, right? And what is the state of harmony? The peace and the bliss, the motion and non-motion. Okay, the motion and non-motion. This is phenomena when the masculine energy, fire energy, is going up and going down like that in the torus field, and the feminine energy, water, is going down. And so as the masculine energy is going up, feminine energy is going down, they create a counteracting motion, and it appears like everything is still and standing even though there's motion. That is how it's possible to have motion and non-motion. And these two energies are in complete alignment. There's no argument in which direction they have to flow. Okay. And that is where this phenomena of eternity exists. There seems to be temporal movements, but there's also infinity. There seems to be duality creating unity in quasar, blue quasar, or in this state of consciousness. That's where everything started, from that peace and bliss, and that's where everything headed. And on the way there, we have a game, and that game is the beginning of the game is when we split those two energies, and when the fire is not allowed to flow up, and then the water is not allowed to flow down. Okay? And then that polarity shifts. The feminine is acting as masculine, and the masculine is acting as feminine. And so let's go back to the real world example: submission and tyranny. Okay? You may say, like, well, that seems to be like the tyrant wants to control, so it seems that he's in charge and control. That's masculine. No, he's not in charge, but he's trying to control it because he's not in charge. He's trying to control, he's not in charge. And the woman is submitting to that also as a coping mechanism and a way of manipulation, so she can be in control. And she actually, submissive woman is actually in control. I know it may seem like a paradoxical thing to say, but if you look at it deeper, you'll see that that's the case. That's how she can get what she wants, by being submissive. But that's an act, and that's not real, and it's fake. So there's only two worlds: the harmonic world and the corrupt world. Very simple. Okay? This is why a lot of women and a lot of men, confuse submission with devotion, or submission with obedience or trust. Obedience and trust, that's pretty much the same thing. And men confuse the real power with ego. Okay? And then in this world, in this red quasar world, which, by the way, the phallic symbol, the laser beam, is very short. So that just can tell you that the insecurity of that tyrant energy. There's no security there because the laser beam is short, spiritually speaking, energetically speaking. They don't have power. This is why they have to control, and this is why it creates violence and creates drama and all that type of stuff, right? And as you can see, this world will never change. Within this world, you can have all sorts of tricks and manipulations. It's always going to be conflict based. No love there, because love only arises when those energies are duality creates the unity, the eternity state. That's when the love arises, that peace. That's when the love arises. There's no love. And there's no love because it's that energy, the energy, masculine energy and the feminine energy do not have reconciliation. There's a split. They're not allowed to reconciliate. And so that creates duality without unity. Duality is not a problem if it leads to unity. Duality is a problem when it does not lead to unity, because there's no reconciliation. Okay? So by looking at these stellar objects, also looking at your own state of consciousness, you can kind of see that if you want the harmony in your life, there must be a complete and total change. Not a little fucking trick, not a little this, little that, not a little watching other videos of how to cope with this particular, situation. None of that stuff. You need to go through complete and total change. And when the energies are in complete alignment, the fire, the masculine energy, and the water, the feminine energy, do not have two things. They do not have air and earth. Air is thought, the thinking is gone. And then earth, which is stagnation, or like belief is gone. Belief would be some like a memory from which, when the energies flow, creates a thought. Both of these disappear. They don't exist there. And this is when they do disappear, what arises is the infinity. Okay? Now, that brings me to the process. You know what? I'm gonna make another video about this. I don't want to make this video too long. But in this video, I particularly want to send a message about this complete and total polarity shift. Okay? In a woman, when the energy is moving up, when it's supposed to go down, which is going down is openness, going up is constriction. When that happens, that type of woman is polarities are opposite. For that type of woman to start becoming happy again, she has to go, water has to go down, and the openness start happening. But the reason she doesn't want to open, because that's bad news if you do that to a tyrant. But that openness is what actually is going to bring the hero rather than the villain. So when the woman decides to change that polarity in her, until that happens, until that complete and radical change happens, there's no answer. Okay? I don't really want to send the message that there is no answer within this polarity. There is no answer. The answer is to shift the polarity completely and totally. And you may ask, like, well, how do you do that? Well, a man shifts his polarity through courage and facing his pain, and the woman is shifts her polarity by facing the pressure. And so a man concentrates his energy, it's flowing up, intention, attention, and a woman is opening up, surrender, and you can call it like awareness and allowance. When that happens, the energy starts flowing in the correct direction. And neither of them can fake it. They can act like it's so, but you cannot fake it. And so when you meet a man, when his energy is flowing in the right direction, it's very obvious. And you meet a woman, when her energy is flowing in the right direction, it's very obvious as well. And only these, when a man's energy is flowing right and the woman's energy is flowing right, only they can have a real love. That's what the true love is, and this is the only way that you can have it. There's in the red quasar, there's no answer. In the blue quasar, all there is love and wisdom. Well, hopefully I was able to communicate that the only real change is a complete and total change. It's the opposite. This is why if you know this, you're gonna stop playing those games looking for the answer within that game of shifted polarities. You can see all sorts of symptoms, right? But there's no love there. And the men are looking for all sorts of strategies. Women are looking for sorts of strategies. But there is no reconciliation. There's something here that I still want to say more, but I don't quite know how to express it. But I'm gonna keep it as it is for now, short video, and I'll make another one in the next one. Peace. Bye.